in escape pods on a Tuesday, but of course I overslept, and so that meant that it wasn't recorded. There wasn't a recording of the Wrestling Escape Pod, so instead we just did a live stream where we just went through WrestleMania predictions and kind of did a whole live thing over on the other channel, and that obviously probably should have planned it, that it was going to overrun. I did put this as starting 5 minutes past, but, you know, it's ended up being quarter past. But hey-ho, it is what it is. We're here now. It is time for AEW. And I have got the match cards all lined up, ready to go. So we can take a look at that. And we'll get the chat on screen whilst that's firing up. Is this the correct graphic? Let me see if I can find the correct graphic. The correct graphic is here. Yes, boom. Right, okay, so this is the match card then that we've got for tonight. And it is Kenny Omega against El Hijo del Vikingo. El Hijo del Vikingo, and I think that's how you pronounce it, is much hyped. I have not seen much of him. I've seen highlights, and there's been some great video packages doing the rounds. But he is one of the best, one of the leading lucha luchadors out there. He is someone that has been kind of spoken about for a few years, and we were meant to get this match a few years ago. If anything, he's just been getting better and better, and now we find ourselves in a situation where we're going to be getting Kenny against El Hijo del Vikingo on tonight's Dynamite, which is really exciting because even just a Kenny singles match is exciting. So Kenny on his own is exciting. So Kenny against El Hijo del Vikingo, really looking forward to that. If you don't know anything about El Hijo, then you are going to be impressed. Certainly if you like that lucha style. Then we've got Jon Moxley against Stu Grayson. We've got Toni Storm taking on Skye Blue. We've got the Guns against Top Flight. That is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We're going to be hearing from Adam Cole, Bay. Then we've got Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Sting taking on Kip Sabian, Butcher, and Blades. That is going to be a triple threat match. And then this one's a bit strange. Like, I don't know. This doesn't really strike me as being Dynamite worthy. But it's Hook against Stokely Hathaway. Maybe this is something people are really excited by. I don't know. This one's really passed me by. I know that Hook injured Stokely in the past. And so they've had a little thing going on for a while now. But yeah, I don't know. That one kind of strikes me as being maybe a Dark or an Elevation type thing. Or Rampage. But I don't know. Either way, we're going to get it tonight. I'm sure it'll be fun. But, yeah, the Kenny match is what I'm most excited for. So, genuinely looking forward to that. I did put a little tweet out earlier saying how excited I was for that match. So, Kenny against El Hijo del Vikingo. And as I said, don't hold me to that pronunciation. I can't guarantee that I'm saying it correctly. But what I am doing is trying my best. So, boom. Vikingo usually wrestles for AAA, I believe, said Mitchell. AAA, said James. Vikingo is a phenomenal talent, says James. Daniel said, besides Kenny, the rest are just glorified jobber matches. Eric said, think that's on Fight, been trying to figure it out. It's on Fight, yes. Alfie said, are there memberships for the WEP? There isn't, no, there's not memberships for the WEP. To be honest, I mean, the WEP is, I mean, I love the WEP. We have so much fun with it. But we're trying to find a way of like really getting it so that it's. I think we need people to know about it. Like we've got a core community that go and enjoy the web, but just like all things, really, trying to get and reach other people is very difficult. And so that's been a bit of a challenge. I must admit, the stuff I do with the Wrestling Escape Pods We do it basically once a week. All the other time, all my thoughts and everything go into this channel. And so then when it gets to a Tuesday, that's when I'm like, right, okay, what are we doing for the web this week? So it probably needs more love and thought going into it than what it's had in recent months. But I mean, I thought obviously gutting that Triple T wasn't able to jump on. That's a fault of my PC, to be honest, because I'm still having to use this old PC. So it's quite limited with its setup and what it's got and blah, blah, blah. But I thought tonight was still pretty good. It seemed like there was a fair few people joining us. Seemed like people were, as I was looking at the chat, enjoying it as we were going along. I thought the community submissions were brilliant at the end as well. So, no, we don't have memberships or anything at the moment. Maybe we can get there and grow to that. But at the moment, it's just, I think, a case of getting, community involved and trying to get, build it and reach more people first. So, but I hope people enjoyed it. Brenton, shout out to you. Said, thoughts on the news that Forbidden Door has already sold out and it's a 1 million gate. AEW has been blah for a while, but with nothing announced, that's something to give them credit for. I think that, it is definitely. I think that there is a strong audience for AEW, a real core fan base that are going to always want to go to a show like that. I actually don't know how well it sold last year, but I would imagine it did well. I must admit, the news that it sold out as quick as what it did, I think is caught me by surprise. I thought it would sell out because even though I think the product has been a bit flat, and I think that's being kind, there's still 800,000 people that tune in each week. And a lot of that 800,000 are the core fans, you know what I mean? The hardcore, the ones that love this. And some at like a Forbidden Door. That's the sort of thing that I think gets them really excited. So, yeah, it is definitely something for them to grab a hold of, get it shout about, be excited about. Absolutely. I don't know that it tells us anything that we don't know, though. I can't say that them selling out for Forbidden Door is a sign that the product is about to explode again, or the business is red hot, or do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's 800 and some odd thousand that tune into Dynamite each week. I think I couldn't even put a number on it, but a couple 100,000, 300,000 of those are hardcore AEW fans. Like, do you know what I mean? They're never going. They're gonna stick with this until, whatever happens. And I think something like a Forbidden Door is the show that really appeals to them. That is the show that's maybe more so because I feel like, a Double or Nothing is the same as an All In. It's the same as a Revolution. Like, they're just shows. They're just shows using AEW talent. But Forbidden Door, that's where you get AEW talent and New Japan talent and its top talent as well. And I think if you're an AEW fan, that show in particular really, really grabs your attention. So, it's tricky because I don't want to take anything away, because you're right. It's definitely positive news. It's something for them to shout about. I want to make sure I'm giving credit where it's due, but equally, I think it would be wrong to just not throw in that. I don't know that is a sign that we're, things are picking up, or that we're about to hit 1 million again, or do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know that it's a sign of anything other than the hardcore fans love Forbidden Door. and I feel like that's the message I've received. The pre-sale for this as it's sold out. So yeah, brilliant news for them. So yeah, what would be just as interesting would be if we could get numbers for how many people buy and watch Forbidden Door compared to the other shows. So, for example, how many people watched Revolution? How many people watched Double or Nothing? How many people watched All In? How many people watched Forbidden Door? Like, I don't know if that information is out there, but it would be very interesting because I feel like the speed of those ticket sales, I think you can put down to the hardcore fans. But obviously, the success of the show is going to depend on the casual fans because the hardcores watch everything anyway. What you need is those people that don't watch everything that are going to be willing to spend the money to come in and then watch this show. So that number would be very interesting because I genuinely don't know if it does grab the casuals or not. Like, I don't know. I know there was a lot of criticism around it last year because there was a lot of people being brought in that hadn't really had much in the way of kind of build, if you will. And, some of that was down to the fact that there was injuries and, I mean, that was awful as well. Like, I think the card we ended up with was not the card that we were meant to get. So, there was a lot of problems with last year's, but the show itself was a big success in regards to the quality of the show. But I don't know that I ever saw any numbers in regards to how many people had purchased it. So I don't know commercially how successful it was. It could have been amazing. I'm not saying it wasn't. Could have been amazing. I genuinely don't know. But that would be some interesting information. Is this their WrestleMania? Is this their biggest pay-per-view that they do? Again, I don't know. If it isn't, what is? If it isn't, how much does it lag behind the show that is? If it is, how much ahead is it than the others? Like, these numbers would be interesting to know. I'd love to know what their big show is. I feel like it's Double or Nothing or All In. I feel like it's one of those. That's always felt like the big show. But Forbidden Door was, certainly grabbed people's attention last year. And I can believe that it does well. But I don't know how it does with the casuals. I really don't. Honestly, if you bring in a load of people that they've never heard of, it's hard to get them to care in such a short space of time. But if they get someone like Mercedes Moné, or Money, or however you pronounce it, that could guarantee you some casual eyes. It really could. And she's been making some noise about being on that show as well. So lots for us to explore. Mitchell, shout out to you, bud, said, do you think Toni gets too much criticism as a booker? He's only a rookie, and we're watching him grow in real time. Vince had experience, but Mania 1 had a terrible card outside of the main event. Does he get too much criticism? Yes and no. I sort of feel like he doesn't have to be in that position. He is choosing to put himself in that position. So, as a result, I mean, the bottom line is, it's not often that you get a billionaire coming along with TV networks interested that's, passionate about wrestling, that wants to start their own wrestling companies, right? Just doesn't happen, right? I mean, TNA might be the last example we can think of. That obviously has now evolved into Impact. You've got the likes of MLW or whatever, but they're like so small, bubbling away. Do you know what I mean? Ring of Honor, Evolve. You can go through all these smaller promotions, but I'm talking about a billionaire that has got network TV. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is something very different. Something that WWE definitely felt threatened by at the start. And even now, I think, still definitely keep an eye on what's happening over there. But at the start, Vince was locking everyone down, wasn't he? I mean, him signing people and making sure that no one was free to go over to AEW when it first started just showed you the kind of panic that there was in WWE at the time. And I think that because it's so rare for this to happen, you've got to look at it and go, okay, well, this is a big opportunity to make a big mark. You know, this what can you do? Brand new company. And, you know, you're saying that you want to offer something different to WWE. Okay. Well, I mean, look, you're going to get judged. Simple as that, innit? You're going to be judged. And certainly if you're going to take shots at WWE as well. And I know that WWE have taken shots back, right? But AEW is the new kid on the block that's disrupting, right? And they're coming in. They see a gap in the market. And they feel like there's an audience that's being underserved. So in they come to do what they're doing. And, you know, on the one hand, should we look at Toni and think, well, look, you know, he's learning and all this kind of stuff? Absolutely. But in the business world, you can't afford to be learning and making mistakes. Don't forget, if WrestleMania 1 had failed, right, they were gone. They were done. Vince even said, I've put all my money into this. All the eggs are in this basket. So we can look at WrestleMania 1's card and say it sucks, right? But it was strong enough to get the numbers it needed to get. And, you know, maybe that was down to the main event, but, you know, it had on. I mean, actually, if you go back and look at WrestleMania 1's card, because I don't disagree that WrestleMania 1 was pretty underwhelming going back and looking at it now. It's always hard to know how exciting it was at the time, though, because, you know, some of the stars that, you know, maybe don't resonate with us today obviously were much bigger back then and meant a lot more back then. And, you know, it's kind of like in 50 years' time, if we look back at this WrestleMania cards, we might be like, you know, the majority of them, we might be like, this doesn't look very good. But at the time, you know, it's obviously a different kettle of fish. But no denying the main event did a lot of heavy lifting. But if you look at the card, you got Andre on there, you got Big John Studd on there, you got King Kong Bundy. I think they'd not long brought in, is it Ricky the Dragon, I believe, is on that. And I'm sure he only had just come in, Ricky, on that card. I think you've got Greg the Hammer Valentine on that card. You've got Tito Santana opens up the show. There's a few names on there. And then obviously Roddy Piper Hogan in the main event. I kind of feel like, look, if that hadn't have succeeded, he was in big trouble. And I suppose people are looking at AEW and Toni has come out and, like, you know, he's decided he wants to do it himself. And the problem is that if these ratings continue to fall and TV networks don't pick up the show, well, then this alternative that a lot of people were excited about, well, you know, there's a good chance it goes away, like it fails. And so, you know, I think people obviously don't want that. Certain people don't want that. So, you know, Tony's getting stick from AEW fans because they're worried that it's going to fail and they don't want it to go away, right? So, Toni, please get a booker because we don't want this to fail. We love it and we don't want it to go away. So, get some help, like, please. You know, look at the talent that's not being utilized, blah, 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 blah. So, he's getting it from them people. He's getting it from WWE fans because, to be honest, whatever he does, he would because, you know, they took shots at WWE. They're trying to be the anti-WWE. He's coming out saying they're at war and all this kind of stuff. That's just going to fire up the WWE fan base. So he's getting stick from there. He's getting stick from, you know, people like Jim Cornette and whatever because the show is obviously not to his taste and it's not to certain people's tastes. It's, you know, it's a different style, very different style from WWE. And so as a result of that, he's getting stick from those people as well. And then, like, you know, there's people that I think want to give it a chance and want it to work. They're all right with the style of wrestling, But then there is just some mental booking decisions, and there are just some things that go on that make you go, what? Why are we doing this? And you do kind of scratch your head. And I suppose those people are the people you're talking about that, probably could afford to give him a bit more of a chance. But, we're talking about a percentage of people there. Look, I mean, Jim Cornette ain't going to change his mind, and the Cornette fans won't change their mind because you're serving up something they don't like. So unless you're going to change what they don't like, which would mean getting rid of like the Bucks. I mean, just get rid of the Bucks. He Cornette would want to see Omega go. He would want to see the Japanese women go. He would want to see people we've never heard of from Japan go. Like, he would want to change the company. So you're never gonna change that, are you? I mean, you'd have to be a different company in order to please Cornette and hardcore Cornette fans and people that think that way. So there's not really much you can do about that. You ain't going to change nothing you could do to win round WWE fans. So as you said, there's not much you can do about that. So once you start going down the list, like, do we need to cut him slack? I think we're only talking about a percentage of people. I don't think we're talking about everyone because, as we said, the Cornette crew ain't going to do that. Hardcore WWE fans ain't going to do that. The AEW fans that I think are worried that things are heading in the wrong direction, they're not going to do that because they love AEW and they want it to succeed. When they're not going to cut him slack, are they? Because if they cut him slack, like, is the TV network going to renew the contracts and all this kind of stuff? Like, some of their favorite wrestlers are, potentially going to go. I mean, we don't know what's happening with FTR. Cody's already gone. There's rumors that WWE are looking at Kenny, and we don't know what Kenny's going to do. And, you can sort of see this thing potentially falling apart. I don't think it will. I think it will continue, but again, can you afford to cut him slack? If the shows are gonna, we seem to have hit a bit of a dip, and we've been stuck in the we shouldn't be in 800,000s right now. If you look at the ratings last year, they were not as bad as they are now. This isn't a bad time of the year or anything like that. Like, you can get that out of your head. This isn't a bad time of year. This is WrestleMania season. There should be more eyes on wrestling now than, at any time in the year. The ratings at this point last year were in the 900,000s and at times pushing up to 1 million. Now we're like mid to low 800,000s. I mean, it's just not got the momentum that it had. And even like the current shows that have been coming out, I think last week was 8.5, something like that. And you can look at it and go, look, it's the ratings, who cares, right? That's absolutely fine. If you want to just watch the show and not think about that stuff, I get it. I seriously do. I do get it, because I think there's a lot of people that are bored about the ratings talk, and I do get it. But equally, I think it is just worth mentioning because, I mean, look, if this doesn't turn around, then we could be going down a sticky road, couldn't we? We could be talking about the company losing like the Rampage hour and just going down to Dynamite. And if the money ain't coming in, then, maybe Tony's got to cut back in areas, and that means people losing their jobs and contracts not being renewed and the company being restructured. I mean, the idea of AEW being downsized and restructured, I don't think it's that crazy. If anything, I think their roster's probably bloated compared to what they actually need. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's loads to unpack there, loads to get your teeth into as to, should Tony be given some slack and cut some slack. I think definitely in some places he should. But I can't say it's as easy as doing that for the reasons that we just went through. But really love the comment. I think that's a really interesting kind of thought-provoking conversation. So be interesting to know what people think. I can see that Defcon Eric as well just fired in a super chat. AEW has become generic. Figures are now peg warmers. Is that true, actually? Do you know what? I don't know what their figure sales are like or what's happening with the figures. Genuinely don't know. I don't know what's happening with new series and if the demand is still there for them, what sales are like. That, again, there's so many numbers that would be interesting. I'm not someone that looks for ratings, to be honest. I can't help but get shown them or see them, but I promise you I don't seek them out. They're just things that I tend to get sent, or I'll be listening to a podcast and it'll get mentioned. That's the only reason I know, because I don't go searching for them. But I do find myself thinking just occasionally, I'd like to know that, and that would be something I'd be interested to know. The information won't be out there because obviously it'll be between Jazzwares and AEW, so it's not information we'll find. But it would be good to know volume of sales for figures, AEW figures, and what they were for each month. Obviously, as you get to Christmas, they're going to be crazy. Dip down in January, but we would have year-on-year data as well, so we could see what they did in 2022, what they're doing now. I mean, to be honest, I think if your main show is down 150,000 on where it has been, because it had a good run at 1 million. It had a good run at 1 million. It was fairly consistent. Because of it being down from that, I've got to think that's going to affect everything. I mean, I can't imagine that you're going to see viewing figures fall, but figures of sales increase, say, action figures sales go up. I can only imagine if your main show is dropping in viewers, that probably means figure sales are dropping. It probably means AEW shop sales are dropping. Kind of, I don't know if it's all going to be in line, but I can't imagine that those are picking up, That's an interesting one, yeah. I mean, we'd never talk about the figures. That's interesting. Jake said there's been a few rumblings that Bray is cleared to be back. Where are these rumblings? I've been doing a podcast, so I've not seen anything for probably about an hour and a half, about 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours. I haven't seen anything in about 2 hours, so if there are rumblings, I'd be interested to know where they've come from, because we know what it's like. I mean, rumblings from someone on TikTok or rumblings from someone, on Instagram or whatever that's just putting something out there. I mean, but if it's come from Sean or if it's come from Dave, or do you know what I mean, come from someone like that, then that would be very interesting. So, I don't know. I've not heard anything of that. 2 hours ago, I hadn't heard anything. So, Jake, appreciate it. James said, Fightful have said Bray is not cleared. Oh. He's not cleared. Okay. Thoughts? Wrestling Harry said, thoughts on Randy returning at WrestleMania Night 2 after Roman Cody? Like, after Cody or Roman wins, we hear start of Randy's theme, I would have chills. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it because if Cody wins, that's a massive moment and he needs to have that moment. I mean, that's how WrestleMania ends. Like, for Randy to come out at that point, Randy would be stealing that moment away, I mean, if Cody wins the titles, the end of WrestleMania has got to be him looking at the belt, crying, looking up at the heavens, maybe going over to Brandy, maybe going over to his brother, maybe saying to the crowd, we did it. Do you know what I mean? Like, just think of the images that will come out of, to then bring Randy out and have Randy kind of gate crash that party. Wouldn't do it. Would I do it if Roman won? No, because I would say yes if Randy was going to be Roman's next opponent. But Randy has been out with some pretty serious injuries since May of last year. I can't imagine we're bringing him back and putting him in a title picture. I can't imagine that he's going to be doing singles matches. He's been out with injuries for so long that I think if he comes back, we're going to need to ease him back into things. He might go back into a tag team. He might go back into RK Bro. That way he hasn't got to work like such an intense schedule. So I think we need to ease him back in. Whether we can eventually get Randy to get to a title match again, I mean, it'd be great if we could. And I think Randy versus Cody has got to happen at some point. We've got to do Randy versus Cody at some point. But I think we're a long way away from that, to be honest. I think we're a long way. I think that he's only, rumors are that he's going to be around. I think he'll make his presence felt. But I can't say that it's going to be during that part of the show. And I can't say it's going to be a match or anything like this. We'll have to see. Alfie, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support, as always. And MVG also sent in one as well. So that's very kind. MVG Network, shout out to you. I want to try and get to as many of these as possible. Godfather So said, Days, I'm tripping my kahunas off. Dino looks rubbish. Hopefully Hater is on and is feeling naughty. Pro Wrestling needs a controversial female manager who shows moose knuckle. Thoughts? I don't know that would get past the network. That's my thoughts. I don't think that the networks would be pleased at that at all. I mean, didn't Paige get fined for saying a word which I didn't even think was that bad? But she got fined for saying it, so I don't think that the networks would allow it. But Pro Wrestling needs a controversial female manager. Do you know what? They do, actually. I agree. All right, they do. They do need... I don't know if they need to be controversial, but they do need a big female manager. I mean, I'm trying to think of, all the female managers are quite timid. I mean, you've got Scarlett, who comes down, but she doesn't really do anything. She just kind of... Do you know what I mean? Strokes the ropes. Pouts. And, she doesn't really do much, does she? I mean, set fire to cards and, as I said, stroke the ropes and, lay over them and gyrate around and, brilliant. But, yeah, a strong, powerful, vocal woman that can, like a female Paul Heyman. Think about that image. There you go, Godfather's Ho. You wanted a mental image. Imagine a female Paul Heyman. Someone that can come out, cut a really damn good promo. Someone that can cut a really good promo and make you go, okay. Do you know who was that person for a time? But I don't think they are now. Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega, when she was with Andrade, was great. She was great. But I don't know, we just don't see her that much, and she kind of is used a bit more as a wrestler now. And Miss Clown said Zelina's the best they've got. Yep. Chelsea Green, well, she's not a manager, is she? She would be good. Jacoby said Chelsea Green would be perfect for that. I've been so impressed with her. I think she's done a brilliant job since she came into WWE. So, yeah. I think she would be good at that. She is a very good talker. I agree. She could be really good. Imagine if she had a faction of guys and she was the mouthpiece and she was the talker. It could be really interesting. So I do agree. Yes. And actually, I mean, you could still do it. I mean, I'm thinking, why can't you do it? Because it doesn't matter that she's a wrestler. It doesn't matter that she wrestles. If anything, might help in certain situations. But maybe it would just take away from her wrestling. So rather than her focusing on herself and being a wrestler, she'd have to come out and do a lot of segments where she just talks. And so, that then stops her from wrestling. So maybe that would be the downside. But yeah, I agree. Chelsea Green would be good. Yeah, interesting. Forbidden Door, 140,000 pay-per-view buys, says Theo. Is that true? Is that where's that from, Theo? From what about Lana? She was good. I don't know that she was a brilliant promo, to be honest. I think she could come out and say, my Rusev is going to destroy blah, 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 people or whatever. I don't know that she was, like, witty or anything along those lines. I feel like with Chelsea, she's got a very comfortable delivery. Maybe part of the problem was that Lana was putting on that fake Russian accent. And, like, as a result, like, her English, her delivery was just not as comfortable. Maybe if she was to go out there as herself, because obviously she's not Russian, then maybe she would be a bit more comfortable and her delivery would be a bit better. And, yeah, not the worst shout, but I don't know that she was someone that I would put up there. We're talking about who's that woman from MLW? Is it Zelina De La Renta or someone? I heard a lot of hype around her, and I don't know that she's still with MLW, but she was meant to be a very good manager that could really talk. I mean, we're talking. Do you know what I mean? Paul Heyman is probably the best person I can compare to. There isn't a female I can think of like that can get on the microphone and really put someone over. Do you know who might be, but we haven't seen much of them? Maxine Dupree. So Maxine Dupree does a bit of talking. She seems quite comfortable. Her delivery seems all right, but I mean, it's hard to judge how good she is, to be honest, because it's maximum male models, and they're doing like comedy stuff, and I don't know, we haven't seen loads of her as well, so they clearly see something in her because they fast-tracked her very quickly to the main roster. So potentially, she might have it, but as we said, we haven't seen loads from her. Brenton said, from what I'm reading, Forbidden Door did 127 pay-per-view buys. All Out is AEW's Mania, in my opinion, given that All Out basically started AEW. Double or Nothing, their SummerSlam. Thoughts? I don't know. I can't answer, because for me, their WrestleMania will be whatever gets their most pay-per-view buys. Their WrestleMania should be their biggest show. Now, obviously, if their biggest show is Forbidden Door, that might change things, because that is such a niche show. It's two companies going up against each other, which is obviously very different to anything that WWE do. So if that turns out to be their biggest show, then we'd go down a whole different conversation then. For me, WrestleMania is WWE's biggest show. Without seeing numbers, I don't know what AEW's biggest show is. I mean, I would agree that Double or Nothing, All In feel bigger than Revolution or Full Gear, right? Because historically, we're talking about All In being the show that kind of kickstarted everything. But Double or Nothing was the first show when AEW started. So I think it was All Out, wasn't it? It was All Out that there was the show they did. Toni then approached them and said, love what you've got here. I think we can do something with it. And so out of that came AEW. And then the first show we got for AEW was Double or Nothing. So I feel like from a historical sense, Double or Nothing, All In, All Out, whatever, those would seem to be the WrestleMania and the SummerSlam. But I seriously don't know which one is the biggest one. I don't know which one is the one that brings the numbers. Without that information, it's hard to say. It could be Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing it might not even be, it might be a case that one year it's All In, the next year it's Double or Nothing, the next year it's Revolution. Like, they might not actually have one. That's a mental thought, isn't it? They might not have one. It might be they don't have a WrestleMania, and that actually it really depends on the cards. Which is so strange, because in WWE, it doesn't matter what the WrestleMania card is. WrestleMania's WrestleMania. They've managed to make WrestleMania the show. You don't need to know what the card is. It's going to be amazing. It's WrestleMania. So WrestleMania sort of sells itself. I don't think they've got that in AEW. I don't think they've got that. I think the fans probably look at Double or Nothing and All In. But again, this is where it'd be really interesting to look at the buys to see what is, is there one? Is Double or Nothing consistently the one? Is it, or is it like what I'm thinking? It's probably that it really depends on the card. And actually, if we were to look back and have that data, 1 year the biggest show could be All In. 1 year it could be Double or Nothing. 1 year it might have been Revolution if the card was amazing and it grabbed people's attention. Last year it might have been Forbidden Door. Really don't know. And if it is 120-odd thousand again, brilliant. Love the fact people have found that information. Shout out to people that did. Without knowing what the other shows did, though, it's hard. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. I know that they've got a high price point for their pay-per-views, so I'm certainly not expecting the numbers to be like, mental. So, but again, it'd be interesting, but we just don't have that information, do we? We don't have it. Alfie said, I'm excited for UFC on my birthday. Loving the streams as usual. What do you think of Moxley versus Stu Grayson? I mean, to be honest, I just haven't seen Stu Grayson. I don't know what he's been up to. I know that there is obviously an issue between Blackpool Combat Club and Dark Order. So this feels like a match to just kind of continue that story. Feels like Blackpool Combat Club are heels now. They obviously have been attacking after the bell and whatever. So Stu Grayson is not on my radar, to be honest. I mean, there might be people out there really excited by Stu Grayson. Might really rate him, really love watching him. I mean, I think he's fine in the Dark Order, but I can't give you examples of matches that have really blown my mind from Stu Grayson. Jon Moxley obviously divides opinion. I think that he does go to the blood too much, but I mean, you'll hear that quite often. I think that he's a big player for AEW. I think this feels very much like a Dynamite match. I think that it's part of a bigger story. I think it could be all right. I don't think it's going to be a disaster. I think it'll be all right. Equally, it could just pass me by and not really register as well. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm always honest, and there's one match tonight that I'm genuinely really excited for, and that is the Kenny Omega match. I'm really genuinely looking forward to that, and I have not sat down and watched HIJO del Vikingo before. I've seen highlights. I've seen the hype. I've heard about him for probably the past, I would say easily the past 12 months, but I think we could probably go back a bit further. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know that he's going to be my style, to be honest. I don't know that he's going to be to my taste, because I've seen a lot of the highlights, and some of them, there was one in particular I saw where he actually climbed up this wall, and the two wrestlers were stood at ringside, and they were literally just staring at him, and then he jumps towards them from this wall and lands on top of them. And I sort of looked at it. It was only in a highlight, and it's amazing in the one sense of how far he jumps, because he's right up in the stands and he hurls himself like a good distance. This is far, right? This is like, I don't know. It felt like it was 2 coast to coasts, something along those lines, right? It was far. It was really far, and he hurls himself at them and knocks them down, right? So from the one hand, you look at it and go, wow, that's amazing. That's what a spot, right? But then on the other hand, you go, I mean, it just looks so stupid. Like, it looks so fake. It's two people. I mean, what did they think he was doing? Did they think he was running away? Like, they were standing there just looking at him. They easily could have just moved out the way. But, I mean, this is what it comes down to. Like, you have to... Some people don't think about it that way. They just watch it and enjoy it for what it is. I don't know what it is. I just can't help but look at these spots and think we'll just move. I think it's because at its core, I watch wrestling as being a combat competition between two people. That's what I enjoy, right? I enjoy two people battling to see who's the best. And sometimes it might be 3 or 4 in there, whatever. But it's people battling to see who is the best. So I think when I'm watching a spot like that, I'm thinking it's a cool spot, and and that will register. But I'm also putting myself in the match, if you know what I mean. I'm watching it thinking, right, if I'm this person, what would I do now? So I'm watching it and I'm thinking, yeah, you want to get out the way, you want to move, and they don't. And I'm thinking, like, get out the way. He's going to jump on you. He's clear as day. He's going to jump on you. And then he does. And you go, well, why didn't they move? Like, are they idiots? And so some of those spots I find frustrating. But it's just a difference thing. I mean, I'm not having a pop or anything. I'm just saying that when I watch certain spots like that, I feel the exact same when someone goes over the top rope and there's a load of wrestlers on the outsides. Again, you look at it and you go, move, just move, just move. And they never do. Young Bucks. Young Bucks have been attacked. But as I said, the way that I watch wrestling is going to be different to how some other people watch wrestling. Some people just watch it and go, what? Wow, whoa. I feel like a lot of people that watch indie wrestling probably have that approach. Wow. I don't watch it that way. Right, Bucks have been attacked and they're being led off in a ambulance. Life of Daz, shout out to you. Life of Daz said, hope all is good. Looking forward to AEW tonight. Life of Daz, shout out to you, buds. Kenny is incensed. So we've started the show with an ambulance. We've started the show with the Young Bucks being taken away. No one knows what's happened. So obviously we'll find out eventually, but we don't know what it is at the moment. Right. Got people cheering away. It's Orange Cassidy that's coming out. Is Orange Cassidy on the show? I didn't even know he was on the show, is he? Oh, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Sting taking on Kip Sabian, Butcher, and Blade. It's a trios match. Okay, so Orange Cassidy making his way down. Orange Cassidy. Oh, I'll just put trios. I'll put trios match. Trios match. James Days, how about Orton on commentary for Cody Roman? What do you think about that? Yeah, I got no problem with that. I think that would be cool. I mean, it'd be nice because, yeah, I really like that, actually. I really like that because Orton's history with Cody, I feel like surrounding Cody with, I feel like his brother should be in the crowds. So having Dustin in the crowds, having Brandy in the crowds, having, I don't know, Ted DiBiase Jr. in the crowds supporting him, having Randy on commentary. Do you know what I mean? Just having people around that have played a part in getting him to where he is. Because, I mean, oh God, think about that journey. Think about that journey. I mean, he told the story, didn't he, that he came in as a kid thinking he was just going to walk it. He's the son of Dusty Rhodes. It's in his blood. He's just going to be world champion. He's just dreaming about when he's going to be world champion, dreaming about when he's going to headline WrestleMania. Just it was all going to be so simple. It was all meant to be so simple. And look at the career he's had. He gets into WWE. Things seem to be going all right, but then you've got the dashing Cody thing, and then you've got Stardust, and then you've got him leaving, and then, he joins up with Bullet Club, and then you've got AEW, and then he comes back, and it's like, he's right now, he still has not main evented WrestleMania. He's never had a WWE World title, not even one reign Like, Roman was making that point. So I sort of feel like for someone like Cody Rhodes, for him to be in the situation where he's 36 or something, and he's never main evented WrestleMania, he's never held the WWE title, like heavyweight title, he's never held the Universal title. He's about to do it. He's gonna, well, whether he wins or not, we don't know, but he's certainly about to main event WrestleMania. So I think surrounding him, not totally, but do you know what I mean? Just a few people here and there with people that kind of helped him get to where he is. Just little nods from the past. And his brother's got to be there. Whether he can be shown or not, whatever, but his brother should be there. I'm sure there's a way of showing Brandy and accidentally there's Dustin in the background or something, you know what I mean? Wrestling fans will notice. But, putting Orton on commentary, I like it. I think that's a pretty good idea. Rivi, shout out to you. Right, people are making their way down. We've got Penelope, we've got Kip Sabian, we've got Butcher, we got Blades. So we're about to get underway with this trios match. Sting in the ring, Darby Allin, and Orange Cassidy. Obviously, news coming out. I don't know if it was today or yesterday about Alexa. I'm a bit confused about it. Like, I genuinely don't know when it came out. I saw it today. Quite shocking news that she had a cancer scare. So, definitely worth mentioning. And hopefully, people, if they're uncertain about something, any marks or anything like that on their bodies, spots or anything, that they go and get it checked out, It's probably nothing. But, that's what Alexa's gone and done and got it sorted. And the thing is, with hers in particular, it was quite a slow cancer. And so as long as you catch it early, you can make a recovery from it. Everything can be fine. But it's one of those where you don't want to leave it. So, whenever there's something like this, it's always worth just mentioning, get yourself checked, look after yourselves. Don't be worried about going doctors and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can still get something good coming out of what was horrible news. But she's got the all clear, so very good. Right, we're underway with Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy. Bryson said, did you know that Darby didn't want to renew his contract to go to WWE this year? Didn't want to renew his AEW contract. No, I didn't know this. He did a promo the other week saying that he loves AEW and he's all about AEW, isn't he? So that's what he was saying last week. So no, I've not heard anything about him not wanting to renew. James said, we love Alexa. That's why people shouldn't listen to dirt sheets and why fans should be careful what they say. Thank you, said Cody winning is disgusting. That's like WWE recognizing AEW. No, I don't think it is. I disagree. I think that Cody went off and, he was in WWE first. So I think if you look at Cody as being an AEW star or something, like, you're sort of ignoring what he did before with Stardust and Dashing Cody Rhodes and Legacy and all of that, he spent time in AEW, but he spent time in New Japan, and he spent much longer time in WWE. So I can't agree. I don't think it's got nothing to do with AEW. It's an interesting comment though, because I very much believe there will be people out there that do think and feel that way. There will be people that definitely are in that mindset. So yeah, it's an interesting one. There are people out there. I'll tell you what it's making me think. There's people out there that are under the impression that Cody has come to WWE, wants to win the title, get this massive push, and then is going to go back to AEW. Like, I don't think he is, but there's people out there thinking that he is going to do that. So there could be people out there not wanting Cody to win because they don't want that to happen, if that makes sense. Something else. Roman said it's best Cody started a company he couldn't get over in. Cody isn't an AEW guy, says Theo. Right, we got Darby, Code Reds, and kick out by Kip Sabian. Crowd on their feet for this. Penelope Ford popping up, trying to get inside the ring. Referee coming over and preventing her. Blade sweeping the legs away from Darby. Darby is down. Kicks coming in by Kip Sabian. Sting watching on. And on the outside, we've got Orange Cassidy going into the barricades. Love the old school ropes. Yeah, good spot. Good spot. Yeah, we've got red, white, and blue. Is there a reason for that? Yeah, good spot. Makes me think of America. I'm not getting into the Roman should lose debate again, says James. If Roman wins, it'll be at 1,000 days, said Joe. Darby is so good. That man puts his all behind every move. Right, we've got Adam Cole tonight. Adam Cole going to be saying a few words. Got Moxley and Stu Grayson, as we know. We got the Butcher in there with Darby Allin at the moment. Sting on the outside of the ring. Don't know where Orange Cassidy went. I think he got beaten up in the early stages of this one. Kenny against El Hijo del Vikingo. That, I'm guessing, is probably going to be a main event. Could it be a main event? It's a bit niche, but I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. Chris said, "What's up, Days? How'd you feel about Kenny Omega's match tonight?" I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. I was talking earlier about how I will be the first to admit I don't think that El Hijo is going to be my style of wrestling. I don't think it's going to be something that I'm going to be swooning over. It's something I think that social media is going to really enjoy. I think it's going to look amazing. But I don't know that it's one that's going to grab me. But that is not stopping me from genuinely looking forward to seeing it. You know, I don't want to judge it before seeing it. So, yeah. And to be honest, I mean, I'm going into it kind of knowing that he is the top lucha or one of the top luchas in the world, knowing what it's going to be. I mean, I know what lucha wrestling is. I know it's going to be fast. It's going to be aerial. It's going to be lots of reversals. It's going to be lots of action. I mean, I feel like I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And it's, you know, it's one of those where you might have to just switch your brain off. Do you know what I mean? It might just be move. And it might just be like, you know, some bits where that you kind of do think to yourself would move out the way, or, you know, don't just lie there or whatever. Like, you just kind of switch your brain off, just watch it and enjoy it. One of those, you know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Right, Darby trying to make the tag. Sting gets taken down by the Blade, gets hurled into the barricade. Darby back in the corner, goes over the top. Kip Sabian in the middle of the ring. Tag, in comes Orange Cassidy. Cassidy grabbing Kip Sabian. Sabian head first into the turnbuckle, crossbody. I always love it when they do that, you know. I always love it when they do that. When someone does a crossbody and the person taking it just does a little jump as they're about to come down, it sort of makes the impacts look a bit better. I just saw Kip Sabian do it. It's just like as they're coming down, they just do a little jump. Psychology-wise, you could make the argument of why would they do that? But the move just looks like it has more impact when they do it. And Kip Sabian just did it there. Netbreaker by Blades. Sabian going for the pin on Cassidy. Shoulder up. Life of Daz said, I bought 2K23 Deluxe. I'm going to play it tomorrow. Big Boss Man, shout out to you. Said, Sting looks bad. He's on the outside, and I mean, there can't be much left, can there, from Sting? There can't be much left in the tank. I heard that, not my style, but they say he's good, said Maggie. But I will be asleep by the time he comes on. 2021 All Out is the only AEW pay-per-view that did over 200,000 buys, 40,000 more than the second best-selling one, which was Revolution. Is that true? Is that true information? I mean, I'm guessing it is if you're telling me it. But that's really interesting because All Out did 200,000 and then the second did 160. Is very surprising because that means what? Forbidden Door did 120? 120? Where was Double or Nothing? Where was Double or Nothing? I would have thought Double or Nothing would have been the second. But it was Revolution. Interesting. Shout out to Theo. Mitchell said Sting is about 100 years old. Justin said he's picking up his copy of 2K23 tomorrow. Exciting. Exciting. Know what you'll be doing tomorrow then? Bob said Kip Sabian is moving like Spike Dudley. Sting should lose to Triple H at WrestleMania again, said Austin. Austin, loved your submission for the wet mate. Great job. I think I saw people laughing. They seem to really enjoy it. Knee strike by Kip as Darby goes in the corner. Orange Cassidy looking for the orange punch. Kip Sabian picks up Orange Cassidy. Slumdog Millionaire against the ropes, through the ropes. And drives the blades into the barricade. We get a stunner. Darby with a brilliant suicide dive. Sting has got Kip Sabian. They are standing everywhere. Sting taking his time, but hits the Scorpion Death Drop. 1, 2, 3. Sting gets the pin and the win. People seem to enjoy that one. There's plenty of people on their feet. There's a sign that says Sting forever. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Days, fun fact, if Roman gets to SummerSlam, he will have held it for 1069. That is a fun fact. At least Roman was world champion in WWE and won it at WrestleMania. Can't say the same for Sting. Darby is in the corner. What's he doing? He's looking up at Double or Nothing. How long does it take you to read a sign? Does he need his eyes testing? What's he doing? He's looking up at the Double or Nothing sign. So last week, obviously, we started with the 4 Pillars promo. MJF going into the cake. MJF. MJF livid. Darby. Where's this heading? Is this heading towards... Fatal 4-way? So we're hearing from Sammy, we're hearing from Jungle Boy. I don't know if they're going to do a Fatal 4-way or a triple threat, and the winner faces MJF. You've got to earn it. MJF said, I've beaten every single one of you in singles competition. Sammy said, Max wants us to rack up wins. I'll rack up as many wins as I have to. Still don't quite know what that's about, though. I still don't know what we're getting. Like, have they just got to win as much as possible? All right, coming up next, we've got the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Guns against Top Flight. WrestleBuzz said there's a rumor going around that Triple H doesn't like the Universal title. If he was to replace it, would you want them to bring back Big Gold or create a new design? I would... Well, what I would do and what they would do are two different things. What I would do is I would bring back the Winged Eagle. I think Big Gold is fine, but it was never my favorite design. I was always a Winged Eagle guy, so I would love to see the Winged Eagle come back, even if it was just for a little run. That could be cool. I mean, I suppose if it's to replace the Universal, is that why you're saying put the World Heavyweight there? Because that was always like the secondary belt. Makes sense. Winged Eagle was like WWE title, wasn't it? So I suppose you would only bring that back if you was replacing. No, to be honest, if you're going to change the Universal, do a new design. I would do a new design because I think Big Gold represents the World Heavyweight title, and the Winged Eagle you can bring back, but really, yeah, you'd want to bring that back for the WWE, wouldn't you? You wouldn't really bring that back for Universal. So I think I would do. I'd do a new design. To be honest, do a new design. See if we could come up with something quite modern and cool and interesting. I like the fact he doesn't like it, though, because I don't like it either. I don't really like that. Well, the WWE one's better because it's on a black strap and it's not as offensive. But the blue one looks awful. I didn't mind the red, but I got tired of it, and I was definitely ready for a change. And then they changed it to the blue, and I didn't mind when they changed it, because I think it was just a change. But now I don't like it anymore. I don't like it. So I am also in agreement. We need to change. The being on black doesn't look that bad, does it? So I can cope with the WWE one, but even that I would like to see change, because Winged Eagle. The Attitude Era belt. I mean, we can go through a few. I mean, even the Undisputed one was better. I would take that. Even that was better. I didn't like Spinner. Don't need Spinner in my life. But Winged Eagle, yeah. But I love the Hogan belts as well. Hogan 86 is amazing. Love that belt. I love the Hogan belts. We're all pretty good, actually. Big green belt sucked. Horrible. Bruno's belt was quite nice. The blue one, that was quite nice. But yeah, if I was going to change Universal, I would create a new one. What's your favourite ring ropes? I love the black ropes WWE used in the 2000s. It's probably got to be red, white, and blue in it for me. Old school. I mean, if I think about my favorite era of wrestling, which is late 80s, early 90s, it's red, white, and blue. So, yeah, that's why it was a good spot earlier. It's a hit of nostalgia seeing the red, white, and blue ropes. So I've got to go with that. Boring answer, but I'll go with that. Come on now, Spinner's the greatest title, said James. I hope it isn't a fatal four-way. I hope they do some sort of thing to get Darby versus MJF at Double or Nothing. Maybe some sort of Bound for Glory point system, says Brenton. Okay. Austin said, love that they did a video package. Travis said, finally AEW doing a video package. Right, here's the guns. I agree. They do need to do that to bring people up to speed for certainly these kinds of, tag title matches. So the Guns making their way down to the ring. Top Flight are going to be their opponents. So we've already had a trios match. Now we've got the Guns against Top Flight. Aubrey is the ref for this. Dave, some of the moves that Vikingo can pull off are like a video game. It's insane. I believe you. I've seen the video of some highlights and very impressive. Okay, here we go then. About to get underway with the AEW Tag Team Championship match. We've got the Guns in one corner. We've got Top Flight in the other. The crowd being quite vocal. A whole chance. Lewis rules. Chop coming in. I still don't know which one is which when it comes to the Guns. Going for a clothesline there. Big Chop coming back. Lovely arm drag there by Dante Martin. AEW doesn't do video packages to bring in normal fans. When they bring someone in from another company, they don't do video packages. I'm getting interviewed by Dave in real life tomorrow. I'm sorry for spamming. It's all right, buds. I haven't seen you spam. Hope it goes well. Austin Gunn has got the short hair. The other guy has got man bun. Thank you. They're still chanting a-hole chants. Okay, tag being made. In comes Austin Gunn. So, Austin Gunn in the ring. I like Taz. Taz, I think, is really good on commentary. Oh, that was great. Launched off the bottom rope there. He bounced off the bottom rope, kind of flipped over the head of Austin Gunn. I think we're going to commercial break. So we're still staying with the action here on Fight TV as Dante goes to the outside. Still to come, we've got Hook against Stokely Hathaway. That's going to be a no DQ match. Over in the corner, face first. Tag being made by the Guns. Doing a really good job of old school, keeping the opponent in the wrong part of town. Quick tags as well. So constantly rotating. We've got more a-hole chants. Also coming up tonight, Toni Storm against Skye Blue. Wish the refs in AEW would fade into the background instead of trying to be the stars. That's been a criticism of Aubrey for a long time, hasn't it? Days, how many lines of coke did Toni have before Dynamite? Over or under 5.5? There's nothing that crazy so far tonight. It's pretty standard show, so it might be a quiet night. Might be a quiet night, so I'm going to say under. But the night is young. Days would be a good AEW ref. He loves the attention. I've also got some sick dance moves as well, so I agree. I would be very good. Coming back over, Dante Martin is down. Soccer AM is going to get axed. I saw, yeah. I mean, I've never really watched... Well, I've never watched the show. I've seen a couple of episodes. But if I had Sky Sports when I was young, I know I would have loved it. Certainly in the 90s. It just absolutely my kind of show, you know, with Tim Lovejoy and Helen. I think I've told the story before. I was in a nightclub in like Briley Hill, Stourbridge area. I was in this nightclub, and it was one of my first times going to a nightclub, and it was quite intimidating. So, you know, you go for drinks in a pub, and then you try to get into this nightclub, and I was underage. But I managed to get in. I was only underage by, I don't know, probably 6 months, a year, or something like that. It wasn't like I was 13 or anything. But even so, managed to get inside. And you don't really know what to do. You know, there's people standing around chatting, there's people dancing. You kind of want to look cool and whatever. I ended up going to the bar, and all behind the bar on the screens and in corners around the club, they were showing Soccer AM. And it was, I mean, it must have been 1 a.m. So it was the replay. I'm guessing the TVs were probably just set to sport or something. I have no idea. But that was one of my first experiences going to a nightclub, was walking in and seeing Soccer AM, which, for those of you that don't know, is a TV show in the UK where they just, like, talk about soccer, but they have fun with it. They'll point out some of the fun things that have happened in the games, you know, like maybe someone in the crowd yawning or whatever, right? They'll just have some fun with it. And it's just like an easy way to start your Saturday, really. But it's been running since the mid-90s, and it's about to get axed. They announced today that it's stopping. But it hasn't been it's very good for a while, you know. I'd imagine in America you've probably got something similar for American football. You know, the kind of show that's on early in the morning. It's got old pros on, and they have fun and do challenges and look at the funny things that happened during last week's games and look ahead at the games that are happening this week and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's one of them types of shows. But they were always, like, dressing up and doing stuff, you know. That's amazing. Moonsault off the top rope by Martin, and Colton Gunn making the save. We were very close to new champions there for a second. That was a big spot. Some people on there getting to their feet now. Oh, hello. Who's that? The Kingdom. Bennett and Taven beating up on Top Flight, and that's going to allow the Guns to get the win. So outside interference by, I don't know who the Kingdom. Oh, there's Maria. The Kingdom. Not enough Maria in that match for me. Not enough Maria. Guns need to beat these jabronis. Serious Gaming said we're just 10 days away from Mania. Time flies, Daisy. It does, doesn't it? FTR are coming down. FTR. FTR, the living legends, the top guys. Cut the music. They returned at Revolution. Okay, so the FTR want the Guns. They want their titles. We've got some promos. Calm down. We're not here to fight. We're here to talk business. We're here to talk business. We don't like you. We don't respect you. You guys are losers. You lost 3 sets of belts and you lost to us. There's nothing for you to say or offer us for you to ever get a title shot. That's good. What have you got to offer? Nothing. He's doing a great job, man. If we can't beat you and win the AEW titles, we'll quit AEW. So if they can't win the match, they'll leave AEW. They'll leave AEW forever. Deal. Oh, and they spit in their face. The crowd don't really know how to react to this, do they? Crowd don't know how to react. They go back to the a-hole chants. Kick their butts, FTR. I think they're staying, said Joe. Yeah, the crowd have gone quiet. I don't think they've gone quiet because they don't like it. I think they've gone quiet because they're worried, to be honest. I think they're worried. I think they're worried that FTR could leave. I feel pretty good FTR will win, but because of what's going on, it's a really good angle. It's good to use it, isn't it? It's good to use it. There's definitely some doubt there, but if I was to put money on it, I'd put money on FTR winning. FTR's not leaving, said Justin. Make a poll. Who thinks FTR is leaving, said LT. We can do that. We can do that. We've got Jade Cargill in the ring right now. Okay. Okay, I was just trying to listen to the Jade Cargill thing. Yeah, was it Austin Gunn that was standing in the ring going, there is nothing that you can offer us that's going to mean that you get a match. And FTR were like, well, what about if we promise that we won't challenge for the titles ever again if we lose? And he was like, there is nothing that you can offer us. And they were like, okay, well, how about this? How about we'll split up if we can't beat you? And he's like, do you hillbillies not understand? There is nothing. It was really good. It was really, really good. It was really, he brought some energy to it. And obviously, you know, the stakes kept getting raised and we got to the point where they'll leave AEW if they lose. And that's going to be our question. FTR will leave AEW or FTR will win the titles. Which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? Are they going to be the champs or are they going to be out of there? Right, next we have got... I've got no room here. We've got Hook against Stokely. Okay, boom. Days, what's your ideal ring arena setup? Mine would be a white canvas with the company logo in the middle, color ropes, red for Raw, blue for SmackDown. Love WCW ring sound from the Midnighters. I really like the black canvas of NXT of old. So I would probably have to go with that. I don't think I would go with a logo in the ring. I think it's probably because I'm so used to not seeing one. It's just nice and clean without like any logos in there. But I really enjoyed the black logo from the black canvas from NXT. So I would probably go with that. Don't know what I would do with ring ropes, to be honest, because old school me loves the red, white, and blue. Like we've got tonight, but I don't think that would work as well with a black canvas, so I might have to go with like, I don't know, it depends what my color scheme is, to be honest. I mean, you could go with any color, really. You could go, I think yellow, gold would look good, of course, but you could go red. I mean, red and black's a great color scheme. Yellow and black's a great color scheme. You can, anything will go with black, really. So it just depends what your branding is. As to, I think, you know, if my color scheme was red and black, then boom, that's what I'm doing with my ring. So, yeah, I'd probably keep it nice and clean, though. But, yeah, it's a fun question, dude. And I can understand why people would have the logo in the ring. I can understand it. We've got a little, what's going on here? Okay, so the match is going ahead. So I think he had a note to say that he was sick. Stokely jumps out the ring. Stokely is running over the barricade into the crowds. Hook's going out over the barricade as well. He's chasing after him. So Stokely's been grabbed. They're fighting in the crowds. Stokely was providing a sick note. He goes over and lands at ringside. Stokely with his knockoff Nation of Domination gear. Indeed. Stokely getting back to his feet. He went for like a haluva, but his foot went onto the shoulder of Hook. Hook's just planted Stokely down. Grabs him, throws him into the ring. Hook needs a haircut. It's not 2020. The barbers aren't shut. I think it's what the kids are into. I don't know, what's he got? He's got a railing, like a ring barricade. It's no DQ. There's people watching. The firm are watching backstage. The barricade is going over by the in the corner. Stokely rolls out the ring. He grabs a fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher used by Stokely. That is not good, according to Toni. That is not good. Having a fire extinguisher go off in your face is not good. That's breaking news. His hair does need a cut, says Maggie. Chet Tuesday's going to do some editing. Serious Gaming, shout out to you. Okay, Stokely in there with the chair. Tries to use the chair on Hook. Hook with a kick to the midsection. We've got... And he uses the chair. Some signs in the crowd that say hooker section. So he's using that chair, walloping Stokely. If it's no DQ, why is the rest of the firm backstage? It's a good question, but in all fairness, I'm all right with it. I'd much rather they were, to be honest. If they were out there getting involved, then, like... we always get brawls, don't we? We always get outside interference, so I can't really complain if they do stay away. Seemingly they have stayed away because Hook has got a submission win on Stokely. Boom. Alexa Bliss was unmasked on the Masked Singer. So cool. Is that true? She was on the Masked Singer. Chair shot were hurt in everything besides Stokely, said Playground Mate. So, firm watching backstage, and they're pretty gutted, of course. So, Matt Hardy wants Ethan Page to go after Hook. Well, there we go. Forgot a question. Where would you have your TV commentators? Ringside or near the stage? I like the announcers to be ringsides. Yeah, I'm probably used to them being ringside. I think it allows you to use the table as well, but I wouldn't want the table to be overly used. But yeah, probably have them at ringside. I think it also allows wrestlers to go to commentary and very quickly can get to the ring. If they're on the top of the entrance ramp like in AEW, then if they want to make their way down to the ring, then that's a bit more of a process. Like, we tend to get shown them, walking down the ramp and whatever, whereas if it's right there, they can just quickly get to the competitors, So I would agree. Having it at ringside's probably preferable. Alexa Bliss was on Masked Singer. That's what was just said. I haven't seen this, and I mean, I can't say she was or she wasn't, but I know she's been dealing with the cancer thing, so I don't know. I mean, she could have done both, of course. Alfie said, I can't wait for All Access. Tim said, halftime scores at the top of the hour. Yep, 13 minutes. Is MJF on today? I don't believe so. I don't think he's not. He wasn't on the announcement, was he? I've got the graphic here. So far we have had Guns against Top Flight. It was all right. FTR coming down was good after. Enjoyed that. We had the trios match. We've had Hook against Stokely. So we're going to be hearing from Adam Cole. We've got Moxley against Stu Grayson. Toni Storm against Skye Blue. And we've still got what I think will be the main event. Kenny Omega against El Hijo del Vikingo, which I don't know that I'm pronouncing it correctly, but we'll go with it for now. How awkward would it be if Cole announced he's not cleared yet, says Adam. Don't know that it would be awkward, would it? Would it be awkward? I know that they want to do his match and All Access, because I think All Access is going to be Adam Cole returning to the ring and getting back to the ring. So if that is delayed a few weeks or whatever, I don't know. I mean, you've got to remember, I can only imagine this All Access thing is a rolling thing. So I don't know what the plan is, but I would imagine I'm guessing they're filming now. So if he's still not cleared, if he came out and said he's not cleared, that's only going to be great content for All Access Season 2. So it would be all right. It wouldn't be ideal, because, as I said, I think they want to do his return match on the same night, which I think is next week. Is it next week? I think it's next week. Is it next week? Oh. I think it is. We're in the Cable Dharma Arena in Kansas City. What show do you get excited about the most on a weekday? On a weekday, what show do I get excited about the most? SmackDown. SmackDown because Bloodline and Bray. I mean, Bray, I suppose it's a bit different now because Bloodline are splitting up, or, Sammy's left them, and Bray is just not around, so I suppose, you can look at both of those and go, well, neither of them really check out at the moment, but, I mean, Bray's only been away for a few weeks, and, Bloodline has still been interesting, even though, they've been splitting up for a little while. Even though Sammy turned at the Rumble, that story is still playing out. So, for me, SmackDown. And, again, 2 hours is a lot easier to fill than 3 hours. So, yeah, I'd say SmackDown. I would imagine a fair few people in the chat would say AEW, considering we're on an AEW stream. Adam Cole is in the ring, though. We're going to be hearing from Adam Cole, baby. Adam Cole. Bray is gone soon, said Corey. James said, tweeted you. Okay. Adam Cole, baby. See what Adam Cole, baby has got to say. It was me behind the Axiotti mask. What an amazing experience. Thank you, Mass Singer. Oh, well, there we go. Would people know, without being disrespectful, would people know, like these casual fans, would they know if they reveal and it's Alexa Bliss? I do always wonder that when it comes to the Mass Singer. When it comes to the Mass Singer, if, when they take it off, she knew her. She knew her. I'll retweet it. Okay, Adam Cole. Has she been? How many weeks was she on it? Oh, they're saying that it would have been filmed last year, right? So it's not live. I thought it was live. Is it live? I don't know. Someone's saying here it was probably filmed last year. Daniel Garcia's making his way down. Well, we've got a developing story, guys. If anything's going to interrupt this AEW stream, it's Mass Singer news. Who's ready for story time with Daniel Garcia, baby? I think he's doing a impression of Adam Cole. This Jericho said, I never know who most of the people are in Mass Singer. I watched Red Nose Day and it was a complete mystery. Yeah, I've always wondered that. They make such a big thing of, take it off. And then when they take it off, I can only imagine a lot of the audience, who's this? Who's that? Do you know who that is? How many people would know Alexa? I don't know. I have no idea. I cannot answer that. I have no idea. Would people in the crowds be like, oh my God, it's Alexa Bliss? Is this going to be his opponent then? I'm guessing Dante Martin's going to be his opponent for next week. Or Garcia, sorry. Brody King beat him. Ricky Starks beat him. Bryan Danielson beat him. Where's this gimmick come from? I don't know where this gimmick's come from. Garcia says, I've been proven I'm one of the best pro wrestlers. Sports entertainers, he corrects himself. Has he been hanging around Eddie Kingston? What's going on? Meltzer mentioned Garcia, his opponent. I hoped it would be someone else, said Playground Mate. Masked Singer is on Fox, same network that SmackDown is on, said Theo. Do you know what your problem is? Jericho Appreciation Society have done a great job of giving you a false sense of security. I am still Adam Cole, baby. Looks like I found that second chance. Okay. Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, first time ever, next week. What's happening? Adam Cole, Daniel Garcia, promo, match, next week. They're both in the ring at the moment. A lot of people knew when Chris Jericho was on The Masked Singer, said Gary. This is dumb, said Alfie. Garcia got gangster tonight. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I don't know where this has come from. See you next week. Boom. Right, well, there we go, baby. People are very excited about the Masked Singer thing. I'm getting tagged in it loads, which I really appreciate. Cole Garcia is going to be amazing, says James. A lot of people knew when Chris Jericho was on The Masked Singer. We were backstage with, what's his name? Alex Marquez. Here's Kenny. Don Callis said, what's the problem? I've sent Nakazawa with them. Hear me. Don Callis said, the God of Pro Wrestling is back. Those two going off in an ambulance might be the best thing for us. It allows us to focus. Yes. Kenny is back and it starts tonight. He's making a good point. I understand Kenny not loving his friends going off in an ambulance, but I am excited about seeing Kenny have a singles match. Right, here is Jon Moxley coming out with Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. God of Pro Wrestling, Roman isn't there, said Lister Jericho. Right, Moxley versus Stu. Old Stu. Does Moxley bleed? Well, he didn't bleed in the 6-person tag match the other week. Didn't need it. This is a singles match, though. I think there's a better chance of him bleeding here in this singles match than there was in the 6-person match. Does he bleed? Put in your thoughts. Yes or no? Blackpool Wrestling tops. Blackpool Wrestling? Have they rebranded? Those tops look quite cheap. It literally says Blackpool Wrestling. Okay. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with no. We'll find out. Alex says yes. Bossick said, I'll give him 2 minutes. Tim said it's half time. I say he bleeds 5 minutes into the match or less. Jeremy's going no. TGB said, I would rather have an AEW hoodie. Alfie said he'll bleed a gallon. I'll bet my liver. Okay, we don't need to do that. No one, please, no one bet your livers. There's no need. It's not that serious. Okay, so Moxley in the ring. It's been 2 weeks. He's not bled. I'll give him 3 more before he does, said Justin. Shaquem thinks yes. LS Dub thinks yes. Dean thinks yes. Never mind brawl out. It's bleed out, said Maggie. Hell no, said LT. Tahil doesn't think so. But Lance does. He'll bleed as always. He does the same match every week. Moxley is overrated. Is just a fake trucker's opinion. Lance, shout out to you. Moxley bleeds, says Theo. We'll find out. I've gone brave. I've gone with no. Didn't bleed last week. I'm gonna say no, but it is a singles match. We'll find out. Tell you what we'll do. We'll fire up the halftime scores as well, because it is that time. So Dark Order at ringside. Moxley in the ring with Grayson. But we're going to turn our attention to halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Boom, right, get in your thoughts. 1 Minute Wrestler said 7. Alex says 7. AEW is sponsored by Gillette. Lance, shout out to you. Rare Breed said 6. Denise said 10. Matt said 7. TJB said 6.9. I wonder if Moxley will use the finger and mouthed the F word this week, said Travis. 6 said Aubrey Edwards, presented by Prime Energy. Derek said 4. LT said 7.5. Heel 96, 4.7. Jojo, 6.75. Virus, 6. DR said, I sing the halftime score song randomly throughout the day. WWE, AEW fan, 8. DJ Poison, 10. Theo, 3. Travis, 4. Justin, 6. We need a full-time score song. We do need a full-time score song. I wonder if we could open that up to community submissions. Because I could easily come up with a full-time score song. But it might be fun to give people the opportunity to do that. That could be fun. Maybe we could throw open the halftime score. I feel like the halftime score song, though, is maybe not loved. But it's acknowledged. People know it exists. People know it exists. And, but I think people would be all right if we mixed it around. As long as the halftime score song didn't, like, permanently go away, I think people would be all right if we had some community submissions and whatever. I'm totally open for all of that. I have the halftime score song as my ringtone, said Lance. Come on. Sandy 7.5. Kendall with a 5. Smurfy Tunes with a 6. AB Jobson with an 8. Paulie with a 6. 1 Minute Wrestler said cringe. Bad News Leader for Bullet Club. Finley is great, but should have Tama brought back, says to heel. Don't change the halftime score. It's a classic. Full-time should be similar, but with a twist. Maybe not loved, but definitely respected. Mm-hmm. Acknowledged. But you know, Flair won't take a vacation. What does that mean? Wheel of Fun song is better, said Alistair. Well, we've churned out more hits than Motown. Stu Grayson gets planted down. Still no blood from Moxley. There's still time. But can't see any blood at the moment. Grayson down, Moxley coming round. Daisy's best song was the Adam Cole one that he did years ago. Oh, that's a deep cut. Deep cut. Bang. Pile driver. 1, 2. Shoulder up. I had a few times had the halftime score song stuck in my head. Do you know what's really weird? I don't hear it. Every time I play it, it doesn't play through the speakers. So you lot hear it a lot more than I do. I mean, I know how it goes, but it's not stuck in my head because I never hear it. So you lot are being terrorized with it, not me. Moxley firing in a kick then. Grayson down on his knees. Another kick coming in by Moxley. I wish there was a Days Song compilation. We all do. Just some of the hits throughout the years. Stu Grayson getting up to his feet then. Forearm strikes coming in. Moxley going back against the ropes. Reversal. Moxley goes down. Grayson again by the ropes, picked up. Oh, again Moxley goes down. Elbows coming into the side of the heads by Grayson. I think Moxley could have done a better job of selling them, to be honest. Grayson was throwing them into the side of the head, and Moxley was just sort of like lying there. There was a slight grimace on his face, but he wasn't really selling the hits. Grayson back up to his feet. Mitchell, shout out to you, buds. I really hope we get AJ versus Jay White somehow. You want AJ against Jay White? Still don't I haven't seen any word as to where Jay White is going, to be honest. So we still don't know where he's going. Against the ropes goes Moxley. Moxley collides into Grayson. Grayson in there. Big boot by Grayson. Moxley goes down. Grayson climbing up. Grayson perched. Moxley in the middle of the ring. Grayson. 450 sort of landed knees first, didn't he? Grayson still couldn't get it. Grayson on his feet. Round the back, picking up Moxley. He's got Moxley on his shoulders. Oh, that's nice. Nice counter. Submission hold applied. Is it a bulldog choke? Nice Muay Thai knees. Round the back. Rear naked. He's on the back of Grayson. Grayson's on his feet. Referee checking the arm. Grayson looks like he's fading. Rear naked choke applied. So he's got Moxley on his back. He hurls Moxley into the corner. Cannonballs him into the corner. That breaks the holds. Match continuing. Peacock has opened more WrestleMania shows. I love it when they do that. I saw WrestleMania 2, said Suzanne. Berger said, are you excited for WrestleMania? I am, yes. I am excited. I think the card looks pretty good, actually. I think it looks pretty good. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Alexa was revealed on The Masked Singer, said Steve-O. Lance said Toni would be foolish to lose FTR. How's tonight? I just keep popping in and out, said Serious Gaming. It's all right. It's okay. The one match I'm most looking forward to looks like it's going to be the main event. 1, 2, 3. Moxley gets the win, and I don't think he bled. I don't think he bled. Apparently it's 50-50 on where Switchblade goes. Do you remember the Twerk Your Ankle Like Your Uncle song you did a few weeks back? No. Once the streams are gone, I forget everything about them. Right, Blackpool Combat Club jump into the crowd and they walk away. Kenny Omega against El Hijo del Vikingo. Still to come later tonight. Not that much later. I mean, in all fairness, we've only got 47 minutes left. Backstage with Renee and Ricky Starks. Alfie's got to lose his lungs. The Dork Order guys aren't hardcore enough yet, says Theo. If you want to face me, Mantaman, you can find me on Rampage. This is the craziest thing I've ever been a part of in my whole life. He's like, stop attacking me. I'm on Rampage. I'll issue an open challenge. Like, if you want to face me, just face me. I don't see FTR going to WWE. They're under contract with AEW. How would they have had talks with WWE, says Top Tier. It's Renee Moxley Good, said Travis. Well, I mean, their contract is coming up. So, I don't know. It's a grey area, isn't it? I mean, you can't go sniffing around. You can't go sniffing around and like trying to tap up people if they're under contract with someone else. But there's nothing stopping you inquiring as to when that contract is going to expire, right? If WWE got in touch, I mean, if we're going to be completely honest, if WWE called up FTR, say it was Triple H, right? I think they've got enough respect for Triple H to not go ratting him out to Toni, right? So there's every chance that there's private conversations, right? We're all adults, right? We all know that things like this go down. But from a above board point of view, I don't think there's anything wrong with WWE inquiring as to how long the contract length is for certain people. You know, it's a perfectly acceptable question. So whether, you know, there would have been like conversations, contract offers, stuff like that. I mean, FTR, I don't think are going to go into too much detail about that. They have put an image out that showed a contract on the table that had WWE written on it, which got people very excited. I don't believe there's anything to that. As I said, I think anything like that that gets teased on social media is literally just designed to create buzz, right? That's it. It's just designed to get people talking. It's just designed to get you trending and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really put much stock into that, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, look, do I think there's conversations that have been had? Probably are, yeah. Probably are. But we'll have to see. Contract tampering is it's an excuse. Toni, like Toni didn't do it with Jeff Hardy or others. Triple H should just hire me, said Austin. I would book Roman to beat Bruno's records. That's probably why he's not hiring you. That and because you're fugly. Guys, mental health's really important. If you are being bullied, make sure you speak to someone, yeah? Right, we're going back to the show. AEW cringe gimmick. I don't know how sometimes they don't notice it and people not... Oh, QTV. Here's QTV. This got a mixed response last time. Some people enjoyed this. Some people definitely did not. Okay, so we're seeing footage from Powerhouse. Hobbs, is that Phoenix? Imagine being in the Lucha Brothers and your own Lucha Brother doesn't come out to help. Okay. That's good. That was pretty good. Joking about hacking into an Observer's Twitter account and all this stuff about hotels. That was a good line. I'm not a fan of those segments. They don't entertain me, but using the Observer Twitter account being hacked and the hotel, because I don't know if you saw, but there was a bit of a back and forth between Dave Meltzer and Tony Khan in regards to like if AEW pay for hotels and bits and bobs like this. Because that's apparently all people have got to do with their lives, is argue over such things. But it did create quite a conversation. Well, QTV just used it in their little thing there, which is cool. Right, we've got some people in the crowd. I didn't catch who they were, but just a little advert for AEW All Access that starts next week. Here is Skye Blue. Coming off a win over TFA. Skye Blue getting into the ring then. Toni Storm making her way down. Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, and Saraya. Toni Storm versus Skye Blue. Right, lovely. I don't think Hobbs being a part of that, but it's a fun little segment, says Mitchell. Dave Meltzer is a bit of a knobhead. Who the hell is the woman in those segments? I don't know. I don't think I've seen her before. I don't know if they've even said her name. They have sunglasses. They look so cool, said Austin. Where is Shida for this storyline? She should be a part of this. Don't know. What happened to her skateboards? Did Skye Blue used to have a skateboard? Shots coming in by Skye Blue. Goes against the ropes. Kick coming in. Forearm strike. And again, throwing in some shots. She gets pushed against the ropes, but she stumbles over. Nice drop kick. Toni Storm goes out the ring. Skye Blue going to the outsides. Nice. Head scissor takeover there by Skye Blue. Skye Blue climbing up. What's that? That is Taya Valkyrie cards. Taya Valkyrie cards and E cards. Hip attack by Toni Storm. Now we've got Ruby and Saraya coming over, throwing in kicks. This is our house, says Saraya. It's our house. It's our house. Skye Blue never had a skateboard. Well, she might have had a skateboard. Mightn't she? We don't know that she's never owned a skateboard. She might have had a skateboard. Chop coming in. Oh, that was just north of the boobs. She's up against the ring post. Another chop coming in there by Toni Storm. Toni Storm goes for another chop. Skye Blue moves out the way. She chops the ring post. Skye Blue with a forearm strike to Ruby Soho. Toni getting in the ring, going back out the ring. Skye Blue is down. I remember a skateboard, maybe once, says Rick. Toni could dominate me any day, says Elfie. Snap suplex on the outsides. Toni's showing off the guns. Showing off the guns. Showing off the gun club. Back in the ring goes Skye Blue. We've got 35 minutes to go. Kenny Omega, El Hijo del Vikingo. Another boot there by Toni. Toni very much in control. My wife was a board pro before stealing my music. A skateboarding pro? Your wife was a skateboarding pro? Shout out to her. Tina Hawks. Tina Hawks. Was that her name? Should have been. Mitchell, Cora Jade and Skye Blue would basically be that Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. Very good. Very good. You could make that. You could get that meme. Slap on the face of Skye Blue. Slap on the face of Cora Jade. But bosh, done. Cora Jade's got more tattoos now, though, isn't she? But, yeah, very good. I once mistook Days as a Smurf. They look identical. I've been called many things. I don't think I've ever been called a Smurf, but I'll take it. I've been called way worse. Skye Blue had cake. I'm not the only that has noticed it. Summer, not Alma, and how it always was, always will be like something's not all like I've said many times, not this time. Like something's not all said, well, yeah. In all fairness, I think you've just said what we were all thinking. We were all thinking that. Darby evoked his no other skateboarders clause, said Robs. Very good. Skye Blue with a handful of hair, chucking Toni Storm around. Skye Blue backs up into the corner. She's going to charge over. It's a long match, isn't it? Is it just me, or does it feel long, or is it actually long? Skye Blue going up. Crossbody. Against the ropes goes Skye Blue. Around the houses. Skye Blue back up on her feet, charging over. Knee strike there by Skye Blue. She's got a lovely pace to her work. I think she's still quite young, isn't she, as well? I don't think she's that old at all. 1, 2. 2.9 there for Skye Blue. Going over, grabbing. I can see a bit of Mickie James about Skye Blue. Kick coming in. Against the ropes. Thez press there by Toni Storm. Rhea Ripley is no mummy compared to Toni, said Alfie. Lance said, I think it just feels long. David said it is long. Toni going up, looking for a DDT. 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out by Skye Blue. Skye Blue survives. Defcon Eric said, Wrestling Days, we are 125 subscribers away from 1,000. Thank you for help and shout-outs. Well, Defcon Eric, I wish you all the best as you journey towards 1,000. Knee strike coming in there by... Oof. Skye Blue. Athena should join Outcasts, says Jai. We've got Skye Blue looking to swing at Ruby. Ruby ducks out the way. Get a roll up. Skye Blue goes over. Drop kick there by Toni. Toni getting back up to her feet. I can't believe this match is still going. Oh, it was a pretty brutal hip attack. I feel like this is the beginning of the end now. Skye Blue gets planted down. Was that Storm Zero? Was that Storm Zero? Maybe it was. Don't know. Toni Storm has won. Ruby has got the spray paints, telling the referee to get out the ring. Oh, this is going to be disgusting. This is going to be hard to watch. It's going to be hard to watch, guys. Here's Rio with her tube. The pipe. Willow coming down as well. So Rio and Willow racing their way down. Yeah, look, they were thinking of coming into the ring, but Rio being very clear. They've come down to make the save. I love Rio's theme. I love Rio's pipe. Right, Powerhouse Hobbs is taking on Penta on Rampage. Taya Valkyrie is taking on Layla Gray on Rampage. Brody King is taking on Jake Hager on Rampage. Ricky Starks is on Rampage. Saturday night. Oh, it's on Saturday night. It's on Saturday night. It's a special Rampage. Adam Cole will take on Daniel Garcia next week. Adam Cole, baby. Did you say Ruby's got the tube? No, Rio. Rio's got the tube. It's our main event. Our HIJO del Vikingo. Taking on Kenny Omega. Is that Grayson? We got Grayson backstage. Moxley is attacking Stu Grayson backstage. It's not very nice, is it? Well, there we go. Moody. Dean Ambrose has gone mad, said List of Jericho. Rampage on Saturday night. They're moving it. Yeah, I think probably for just 1 week. Rampage on a Saturday is interesting. March Madness, as they call it here in the States. There's a stream UFC fight this weekend. Are you asking if I'm going to do it, or are you saying you're doing it? My priority this weekend is going to be the Caleb Plant fight against Benavidez. Time-wise, I don't know how it works. Whether we can do UFC and the fight, or whether we can only do the fight, I don't know. I'll have a better idea tomorrow. David said, if FTR leave AEW, you know they knocked on the door to WWE, but I want Triple H to get the right match. David, shout out to you. Maggie said, here comes the Bloods. Well, it wasn't on screen long enough for the Blood, to be honest. Jai said, the pipe probably has got more weight than Rio. I tell you what, I've gone a bit cold. I am cold, so I'm going to put my coat on. I'm going to treat myself for the main event. I'm going to put my little jacket on. I'm getting ready, guys. This is how I get ready for exciting main events. I put a little jacket on. Ooh, I feel lovely and toasty now. I don't know why, it's just gone cold. Are you doing stand and deliver? Yes, I am. I haven't set that one up yet. I've set up the WrestleManias. Feel free to leave likes. I'd like to try and get those around whatever it did last year. I mean, last year's WrestleMania streams were incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think last year's WrestleMania was the most successful for the channel WrestleMania that we've ever had, ever in the history of the channel last year. So if we can get anywhere, I do not expect it to be as good this year. I don't know what happened last year, but if we can just get even close, I'd be over the moon. So if you haven't left a like, leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. But yes, we will do Stand and Deliver. We will do WrestleMania Day 1. We will do WrestleMania Day 2. We'll do Hall of Fame. That's on the night before. We'll do SmackDown. We'll do Raw. We're all over it. We're all over it. Hope you're not catching a cold. Yeah, I hope I'm not catching a cold as well. I don't know. I just got a chill. I think it's nothing more than a chill. Don't forget I am a boomer. So, you know, little chills. They happen when you get to my age. Okay. Here we go. Is this going to be, I don't know his entrance, HIJO, yeah. Is the what? The AAA Mega Champion? $473 days as the AAA Mega Champion. The son of the Viking. He's got Vikingo is making his way into the ring. This is a big opportunity for him. The mask is a little bit Shockmaster-esque with horns. I'm looking forward to this. I feel like I'm watching something different, special. Quite a subdued entrance theme, wasn't it? Don't think we need the humor. They're trying to do humor. Conan must be backstage. Triple A Omega title or Big Green, what would you buy? I don't know. The Triple A Omega title. Triple A is just not on my radar. Triple A, CMLL. I'm aware of them, but what their belts look like, I have no idea. The only belt that I can remember what they looked like were the FTR ones. Because they carried them around. They looked awful. Here's Kenny. What is a AAA Mega Champion? What does it mean? What are you the champion of? You're the all the megas? You are literally the champion of all the megas. There's no mega better than you. You're even, that must mean that you're even the champion of Kenny Omega as well. He's the mega champion. He's all the megas. Including Omega. Kenny making his way down. Triple A. Vikingo launching himself at Kenny. Going against the ropes. Over the top. Beautiful. Beautiful. Championships. I'm guessing the mega one is it the top one? Looks like it is. I think the AAA Mega Championship might be their top championship. Because other than that, you've got the Marvel Lucha Libre Championship. You've got the AAA Latin American Championship, the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship, AAA World Mini Estrella Championship, the Blue Demon Championship, the World Tag Team Championship, the World Mixed Tag Team Championship, Trios Championship, and the Reina de Reinas Championship, which is like the best women of women, I think. That's Taya Valkyrie. So the mega one is the first one listed. I think that's the top belt. Okay, Kenny is down by the ropes. Vikingo, double knees. He goes through the ropes. Oh, it's all happening. How long we got? We got 20 minutes. The AAA Super Duper Championship is the best one. Lovely shooting star to the outside by Vikingo. He's come out like a bullet out of a gun, isn't he? AEW chants from the fans already. Vikingo and Kenny on the outsides. Vikingo on the outside of the ring. Goes up, bounces off the middle rope. 450. He actually jumped off the outside over the ropes, bounced on the middle rope as he came into the ring, and then 450'd onto Kenny. Forearm strike there by Vikingo. Enziguri. Kenny going, throwing in a chop there. Another heavy chop as Vikingo goes down. MJF's belt is more prestigious than that one. No idea. I mean, MJF's is the top one in AEW, but I don't know. I mean, AAA's been around longer. Couldn't tell you how many people watch it. I don't know. In Mexico, how big is AAA? I don't know. Don't know what their viewing figures are like. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Kick out. Do you think if Randy does come for WrestleMania, maybe we get Randy Bobby? I don't think so. I don't think so just because, you know, Randy's been out for a long time, injured. So he has got the all clear now, we think. We believe he's coming back, so I'm sure he's training and everything. But for him to come back and work like a singles match, I feel like that's going to be quite an ask. I feel like he's going to need some house shows. He's going to need to get rid of that ring rust. I think for him to step in there and do a singles match, I mean, don't forget, he's been away since last May. He's been out the ring for 10 months. I mean, that's a considerable amount of time. That's a considerable amount of time. So, I don't know. I can't, I don't know. Unless you're going to do something really short. Do you know what I mean? Like a couple of minutes. Just a really short little thing. But any sort of proper match, I'm really not expecting. Table being set up by Kenny. Rick said AAA is the second most watched. It's the biggest promotion in Mexico. Rick said, I think AAA was started in 92. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. What's more prestigious? I don't know how you measure prestige because obviously, because something's been around a long time doesn't necessarily mean it's prestigious. I mean, if it's been booked awfully, do you know what I mean? If they're just giving it to anyone and, you know, it wouldn't have much prestige, would it? So, It's an interesting one, but I feel like AAA definitely would be in the conversation. I don't think it's up there with the IWGP. And I don't think it's up there with the WWE. Or even £10 of gold. But I think it's I feel like if you've got it, it means something. Talking about apparently the biggest promotion in Mexico. I couldn't tell you. It's either first or second. It's either AAA or CMLL, but I don't know which one it would be. Don't know about you, but I'm finding Outcast a little nauseating. It just feels like a channel changer, says Big Time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Outcasts. They don't do it for me, to be honest. Okay, knees coming in. So we had a lot of fast action from Vikingo at the start. Now it's sort of settled down a little bit as Kenny has started to take over. Randy and Cody have the feud all ready to go. Cody wins. Randy comes out and says congrats and then hits him with an RKO, said Jeremy. What happened to Lucha Underground? It went out of business. AAA is where Toni got the Trios Championship from, says Theo. They're marginally better than Damage Control, says Adam. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Damage Control either, to be honest. I like the women in both of them. I mean, I like all the women involved. I like Toni Storm. I like Saraya. I like Ruby Soho. I like Bailey. I like Io. I like Dakota. But, yeah, I feel like you can use all of the women better rather than these two factions, which neither does it for me. I think Bailey was better before she got injured and before she was with Damage Control. Okay, I think we were at commercial break because Excalibur is doing his kind of welcome back voice. Shots coming in by Kenny. A little bit flat as well, the match, to be honest, for that little phase. So again, wouldn't be surprised if we were at commercial break. Now we're seeing HIJO coming back into this. Kenny on the outside of the ring. Forearm strike there by HIJO. Chop coming in by Kenny. Another chop coming in. Big boot there by Kenny as HIJO backs away. Omega is flipping HIJO onto the edge of the ring. So HIJO on the outsides. Kenny going down after him. Holy chance. The table is still set up outside the ring. He's pointing at the table. Kenny getting onto the edge of the ring. He's going to go and try and plant HIJO through the table. Edge of the ring. Snapdragon by the looks of it. Is he? No. Vikingo with a top rope enziguri. Going against the ropes. Middle rope. Top rope. So he flips off the top. Does a Hurricanrana to the outsides. Crowd enjoyed it. WWE, AEW fam. What wrestling show this week do you look forward to? We got asked that earlier. SmackDown is the one that I would say. This is awesome chant by the fans. Shoulder tackle to the midsection. Kenny is being put up top. Top rope enziguri by Vikingo. What's he going for? He's got Kenny in the corner. Forearm strike coming in. Shots there by Kenny. Headbutt by Kenny. Omega is on the top rope. Don't know quite. Is he going to go for a power bomb? Pile driver? Power bomb, but it's reversed. That looked brutal, man, because it really looked like Kenny got dumped on his head. Yeah, that looked brutal, man. That looked really brutal. Oh my God, that looked like he landed with his knees as well. I don't even know if he, like, there's two moves there, which I don't even know he's landed them correctly. Oh my God. And did he... That was a heavy impact. He landed with his knees. Strike coming in by Vikingo. Kick to the midsection. Fight forever chance. Top rope. Oh, gets caught. Gets planted down. V-trigger. 1, 2, kick out. Apparently we've still got 9 minutes to go. What about Big E or Orton as a GM? What about him as GM? I don't know that we need to do that, to be honest. I think we should be able to still go with... We should be able to get them back wrestling. It's just we're going to have to take our time with it. Like, I don't know that Big E's like career is done or Randy's. But I don't know equally that we can bring them back and put them into, like, you know, singles matches straight away. I think they're going to need to be eased back into it. So, but I don't know that it needs to be something like a GM or anything. Knee strike there by Kenny. Vikingo is down, being dragged into the ring. Kenny trying to get Vikingo up to his feet. He's going for the one-winged. Shots coming in by Vikingo. Vikingo shoulder tackle. Goes up, top rope. Reverse Rana. What about... Oh, we answered that. Can't wait for Jim's review on this, says Ava. Kenny on the table. Vikingo goes against the ropes. Over the top. Oh, that was good. That was good. Goes against the ropes. Bounces over the rope. Just, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog spinning in the air. Comes crashing down. Drives Kenny through the table. Bang. That's amazing. 6:30 senton. There's AEW chants. So Kenny is down. Vikingo crawling over to the steps. This dude is on like a case of Red Bull, said Playground Mate. Kenny trying to get back up to his feet. Vikingo. We're up to 8. Both guys trying to get back into the ring. 9, and both guys beat the count. Vikingo looking for the cover. 2. Kick out by Kenny. Kick out by Kenny. I told you that Vikingo is phenomenal, said James. The kid has got a massive future, says Gary. David says Alexa Bliss on Masked Singer. Is this for the AAA strap? I don't believe it is. No, I don't believe it is. I stayed up for Old Man Sting, not these jabronis, said Tim. Ricochet's finisher, but better, says Tahil. Shots coming in by both guys on their knees. Kenny and Vikingo. Okay, Kenny getting back up to his feet. Forearm strike coming in by both guys. Again, Vikingo throwing in these shots. Goes against the ropes. Knee strike by Kenny. Vikingo against the other ropes. Picked up round the houses. 1, 2. Oh, 2.9. $2.9. AAA then, definitely going to watch it now, says Eric. Vikingo climbing up. Kenny is down. He went for a 630 senton again. Kenny moves out the way. I'm glad Kenny moved out the way because you could see him gesturing. So I'm glad that he moved out the way. He connects with V-Trigger. Now he's going to go for the one-winged. He's got Vikingo up, plants him down. One-winged angel. 1, 2, 3. And he beats him. So Kenny beats Vikingo. Put in your thoughts for that match. What would you score that out of 5? Kenny wins, says Legend Killer. Big Dude said that match was crazy. Vikingo is great for new audiences, says Tahil. Toni is heading down to the ring, apparently. So Tony's come down to the ring. That was a match for the ages, says Toni. Here's Moxley, Blackpool Combat Club attacking. Blackpool Combat Club have jumped Kenny. So they're beating up on Kenny at the moment. Blackpool Combat Club beating up on Kenny. So they were ringing the bell. No one's listening. They're beating him up. I don't know if someone's going to come and make the save. Is that the ambulance? The sirens. Is that going to be the Bucks coming back? FTR already re-signed with AEW. Jason said 6 out of 10 for the match. Hangman. Hangman stole the ambulance, so he's come back with the ambulance. And Blackpool Combat Club are beating up on Omega. So Omega is down. We're waiting for Hangman to make his way down to the ring. Okay, here's Hangman. Hangman coming down. There's 3 Blackpool Combat Club. There's 1 Hangman. He does have a weapon, though. Blackpool Combat Club, run away. Does anyone else think this is a weird way to end this show? I sort of feel like they've just had this match, which people were like really bubbling about, and it seemed to have like, you know, people were like really into it, and now they've just done like a bit of an angle after with Blackpool Combat Club and Hangman and Don Callis just went down. Kenny Don is saying that Hangman has done something to him. So we've got Hangman and Kenny in the ring. Did you ever think we would see 3 American wrestlers repping the town of Blackpool on their merch on worldwide TV? Funny you should ask that, Wrestling. I did. When I was young, I thought one day there will be 3. I thought 3 as well. 3 American wrestlers that will wear tops that advertise Blackpool. It's funny, isn't it? I did, yeah. When I was about 8. Omega jumps out the ring. Days, are you questioning the Booker of the Year? Wow, how dare I? How dare I? Just strange. Just really strange. I feel like you've just had this match that you've been hyping up. And people were seemingly really into it. And then, like, immediately you do, like, a bit of a post-fight beatdown that we always get. We always get these post-fight beatdowns. But I feel like you've just shifted the focus away from that match onto, you know, Hangman and Kenny and everything, which, you know, you can look at it and go, well, yeah, because they're there every week, whereas, you know, our HIJO is not there every week. So you might as well use that match to get over, like, the people that you have on your roster each week. But I don't know, it just, I feel like I'm coming away from Dynamite thinking, why did he do that? Why have they done that? Like, rather than talking about the match that we just saw, you know? So I think I can understand why he did it. He wanted to use that match with El Hijo to get people to tune in. And then when they saw that match, give them an angle so that hopefully they can come back next week. But I don't think what we just saw there is, I don't know if what we just saw there, I mean, the idea of Hangman stealing an ambulance and all this kind of stuff, and I don't know, what we just saw there, I don't know if it was compelling enough, if it was good enough, credible enough to, like, get people to want to tune back in next week or whatever. Plus also, there's maybe a chance that as soon as the match was done, people went off. Do you know what I mean? As soon as the match finished, I don't even know if they would have stuck around for the post-fight beatdown stuff. So, I don't know. I just think it's a really interesting one because I can understand why he would do it. I can understand why he would do it. But I suppose there's just maybe a conversation to be had of, you know, did he need to do it? Would it have been better to have just ended with the match? Because everyone was, like, loving that match. And everyone was like, well, I need to check out AAA now. And that was amazing and all this. And so, you know, if people go away with that kind of vibe, that was amazing, that match was so good, really enjoyed it, that's surely a great way to end your show. Even though El Hijo is not one of your superstars, having people going away from your show going, oh, that was so good, really enjoyed, that was really good, that's good, that's really good. But then to gamble by doing a little post-fight beatdown, which might not, you know, be able to carry on that enthusiasm is an interesting thing to do. Off to bed now, said Funko Pop. Asylum, shout out to you. Put in your thoughts. Trini said, I'm just going to pretend the show went off air when the bell rang. LT said, I like the ending. There's free boxing on YouTube, said Jonathan. Yeah, put in your thoughts for the show. What we'll do is we'll end the poll as well in that. I'm 7 out of 10. The ending was poor to me, said Davids. 8 out of 10, said LT. Whatever happened to Lucha Underground? Went out of business. We know the same 800,000 tune in. Can we expect the viewers to go through the first couple of matches? That was a chore, said Big Time. Well, I think people will have wanted to have seen that match, but I don't know that the casuals would, because for the casuals, they won't know who that is. That's where the video package is going to have to do some heavy lifting. So I think once you see the video packages, you can see like how impressive he is. So it'll be interesting to know. I mean, like Kenny having a singles match will get people's attention. Then, like, you know, the hype of saying this is one of the top luchas in the world. If they saw the video package when they saw the announcement and that video package, been a few video packages doing the round on social media. So I think if people saw that like I did, I mean, I'm a bit different. Like, same with, I would imagine, the majority of you. It's a name that you've heard, but I don't know much about him. That's the first proper match I've seen of his. But like, yeah, I wanted to see that match. I was genuinely excited for that match. So I feel like people might have stuck around for it. It's really hard to know though, like how many casuals would have stuck around. But then saying that, it's Kenny in it. It's Kenny having a singles match. It's not often you see Kenny having a singles match. So I think even just that, people might have stuck around for. So I feel pretty good. I mean, look, I feel pretty good they're going to get their 830, 850. I think they'll do well with, like, do that. But, like, I don't know that this is going to be 900 and something. I really don't expect 1 million. So a lot of people were saying before the show started that the card wasn't grabbing them this week, apart from the Kenny match. So, it's going to be... Ratings will be interesting. They'll be interesting. Days, what bothered you more? The ending tonight or Sammy losing to Roman? One really bothered me, and the other one, I ain't that bothered about. I ain't that bothered about the ending tonight. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it probably would have been better to have ended when the match ended. I think it's interesting that they carried it on and did that little angle thing, which I didn't think was very good, if I'm going to be honest. But whatever. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't affect anything. I'm not bothered. So it would definitely be the Sammy thing. WrestleMania is now less than 10 days away, said Big Time Baxter. Jojo said, I never heard of the Viking guy, but he's got some cool moves. Aubrey Edwards said, good match. 7 out of 10. Kenny is far better solo. Oh, I completely agree. I think... I completely agree. Kenny being solo is a must. It's a must. Him being in the trios thing and them coming out as the elite and everything. No, I would argue they need Kenny to go solo. If you saw his match at Wrestle Kingdom this year, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic match, and I thought his title run was pretty good as well. I enjoyed his title run, so yeah, I completely agree. Theo says AAA is having their biggest event of the year next month. Accept more AAA wrestlers in AEW in the coming weeks. I think catching a body would make that feeling go away. FaZe, shout out to you. It's been a breath of fresh air seeing Kenny solo, said Big Time. Are you feeling captivated by the Elite storyline? We need to give them credit. They are trying. Am I feeling... Yeah, that is true. They are trying. We have got people getting injured and things happening. That is true. That is true. I can't say I'm captivated by it at the moment. I don't really understand what's happening, to be honest. I'm guessing Blackpool Combat Club attacked because they then attacked Kenny after. So I'm guessing. I mean, it's Blackpool Combat Club attack the Bucks. They go to hospital. Kenny's got a big match. He has his match. Then Blackpool Combat Club attack. I mean, maybe there's going to be a twist. We still don't know that it was Blackpool Combat Club that attacked them. Maybe there could be a fun little twist. Certainly seems like Don Callis is up to something. Don said that it was good that the Bucks had gone and that we could focus on singles competition. We also saw Don pretending and acting like Hangman had done something to him when he hadn't. So I think if it turns out that it wasn't Blackpool Combat Club that attacked the Bucks, but it was actually Don had got a couple of people to do it instead, that could be a nice fun twist. So yeah, I mean, look, what I would say is I am appreciative that they're doing a story, genuinely. I can't say it's the most original story, people being attacked who attack them. I feel like we see that most weeks in the NXT parking lot, for example. But there could be a little twist in there, and I'm totally down for seeing more solo Kenny Omega matches. So, yeah. It's good. Good. I'd much rather have this story than no story. So, yeah. Alfie said, I'm tired. I'm about to fall to sleep. It is getting late, my friends. It is getting late. Days, would you be down for an Uso split with Jay being a babyface? It would be nice to step away for the tag division. Yeah, I'd be down for it. I don't know how you do it, to be honest, though, because I might be in the minority, but I'm struggling to see them both operating as solo competitors. I feel like they both bring something, but I think I'm just so used to them being a tag team, it's hard to see them go off and do like being singles competitors now that they've been a tag team for 13 years. I think Jay probably has a bit more about him. He's just got a bit more attitude than what Jimmy does. I mean, both are great in ring, but I feel like Jay has really shown himself, his acting ability. His he can talk. I think that he's just got an edge over Jimmy. Jimmy, I don't know that he would struggle. There's definitely things you can do with Jimmy, but I feel like Jay will get on better. But I think both of them will struggle in singles competition because, I mean, listen, you're going from being the kings of the tag division to mid-carders. I mean, they would be mid-carders in the singles scene. I mean, you look around, you got Brock, you got Roman, you got Cody, Sammy, Kevin. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of names. There's a lot of people competing and battling to try and climb that ladder. And, they're not the biggest of guys. So I think you could... I think what I would probably do is maybe not split them. I think what I'd probably do is I would keep them together, but I would be willing to give Jay a few singles matches, and I'd be willing for, you could have Roman, take out Jimmy, beat up Jimmy. Solo could do it. Who knows? One of them, someone. And so it kind of, that means that they're still together, but just Jimmy's out of the picture for a little bit, And so then, Jay can go after Roman, and maybe you do something along those lines. I think that if you do split them and put them solo, I think they would have a good short term, but long term. Like, you could do Jay versus Jimmy, you could do Jay versus Solo, Jay versus Roman. Then, of course, you can start doing Jay and Seth, and, you can explore a few things, but after 6 months, 12 months, I think you're going to start struggling then. You're going to start struggling because there's some big players, man. And they're not the biggest kids, are they? They're not the biggest. And it's all right to be on the smaller side, but there's some great smaller wrestlers as well. Look at Tommaso Ciampa. He's on the smaller sides. Same as Johnny Gargano. He's on the smaller sides. And they've got masses of experience of singles matches, which obviously the Usos don't. So it's a tricky one. Rich said, to me, I think Bruno's thing should be over. I don't think a championship held more than 5 years. He held it too long to lose. Go said, if you had to fight one of the guys in the UFC, who would you pick? Usman, Brock, or Jon Jones? Usman, Brock, or Jon Jones? Probably Usman. Usman because, well, first of all, Brock was a heavyweight. Jon Jones was a light heavyweight. Usman is a middleweight. So, as you're going down in size, you're going down in power. So, you wouldn't want to face Brock. And Jon Jones as well. The other thing is that Usman is primarily a wrestler. So you're going to get taken down. You're going to get put into, different positions whereby control time, fine, I'm going to be pinned up against a cage. And he's going to, get control time on me. If he does take me down and go for a submission, I'll just tap. I'll be tapping from the second the referee says go anyway. So, Usman has definitely developed his striking, but he's primarily a wrestler. So, do you want to face Brock, who, can throw bombs and is a heavyweight? Or do you want to face Usman, who's a middleweight and is primarily a wrestler? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's a no-brainer. You'd much rather face Usman. Because I'm losing. Whoever I go in against, I'm losing. So do I want to be submitted, but I can tap and end it? So, I ain't got to suffer any kind of... As soon as I'm in a position where I'm going to be, my arm's going to be snapping, I'm tapping. So, I'd much rather that than getting knocked out or something. So, yeah, Usman. Wolf's Den podcast said AEW needs the TNT title tamed the TV title like the old NWA. Needs the TNT title to be turned into the TV title like the old NWA TV title. Got you. Theo said Usman knocked the sweat off Masvidal's entire body. That's true. He did. His striking, as we said, developed, but primarily he is a wrestler. And if you've got to choose between those, then I'm going to go for the smaller fighter whose primary attack is wrestling. CM Punk beats them all, said FaZe. Did you hear the Queen's funeral is up for a BAFTA? Surely it's the coverage, maybe. The coverage of it. I'm glad you found a spot for AEW after drifting a bit. Yeah, I don't think I was alone in that, to be honest. I think there was quite a few people that drifted. I would say that I am much more comfortable with it, but we've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work to do in AEW. definitely. It's just they need to get some stories going, but we can see that they are definitely doing that. As we said, you got to give them credit. They are definitely doing that at the moment with the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club and everything, which is great to see. That's brilliant. So more of that, please. Rich said, I could see when the country was out that you would have one champion holds it until the Thunderdome, but now it's Cody's time. BBC coverage. AEW needs a Hall Farm. I would induct... Oh, a Hall of Fame. I would induct Brody Lee. I agree. He gained consciousness, powerbombed me out of a tree, broke my back. DB, shout out to you. Right, I think we're done. We've hung around a little bit and spoke about the show. Hope people enjoyed it. And we are going to be... when will we be back? We will be back on Friday. We'll be back on Friday for SmackDown. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the support as always. And we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.